And it's the end of the line for the Mariners. And listen to this crowd saying, "Let's go Mariners," appreciative of the magical ride it's been the last 2 years.
Beautiful season for them. They've lost, 3 one-run games in this, but ultimately the Astros prevailed.
We will be back here. There's no question in my mind. We've started something that we believe very strongly. We've got a great core of young players. We've got an ownership group that's committed to bringing playoff baseball back here year in and year out, and to ultimately win a World Series. And we're learning a lot.
Hey, Mariner fans, you are back with us at the Monday Mojo Sports Desk. I'm Max Schwabe. I'm here with Chris Soba and Evan Barron. Chris Weifel is once again doing field work out in Yakima, I think. So, sure, whatever. You're listening to the season finale of the 2022 Mariners baseball season. Hell of a ride this year, and in essence,
hey, that's a ride I want to go on again.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have
a lot of things to be proud of. We have a lot of things to be proud of, but today we're going to wrap up our thoughts. We're going to talk about how the boys went to that ALDS game, the one that we were lucky enough to have at home.
Two games. We went to 2 games. There were 2 games, 18 innings, man.
Oh yeah, I guess we paid for one ticket and got to see 2 baseball games, which was not as fun as you would have thought. And we're gonna chat about other things like services and DePoto's thoughts on the season, where we see ourselves going forward. And apparently there's some Jesse Winker drama, but we're all covering that here on the season finale of Monday Mojo. Chris, what are your opening thoughts?
No, we can go with Winker, man.
Hold the microphone closer.
Hold the microphone closer. You got to tell me that, Max.
Well, I just did.
And with Winker's thing, something about Divish heard something in a post-game press conference that I think just, things got miscommunicated, misread or something. And Mariners Twitter was basically like, it was like Jesse Winker wasn't with the team and he didn't care. He wasn't trying. He wasn't working out. He wasn't giving his full effort as, Mariners players expect other Mariners players to give. And that was what people thought was going around in the clubhouse. And then people was like, they wanted Winker off the team. They're like, oh, fuck this guy. We don't need him. Like, if that's the attitude he's going to have, we're just like, whoa, this is getting blown out of proportion quickly. And then during the end of your presser we had with Hollander, with Service, with DePoto, they cleared the air on that. And they didn't really directly clear the air, but they're like, yeah, Winker's going to be with us next year. He's going to have a spot. Like, what? Why wouldn't he? Scott did briefly say it was like yeah, that got blown out of proportion. But I don't know. Like, people were just getting pissed at Winker.
So what exactly were people pissed about?
I mean, I think it was just the fact that Divish reported something about how Winker wasn't giving his full effort in workouts. He wasn't trying.
Well, wasn't he done for the season?
Yeah, so it ended up turning out that he had a knee injury and a neck injury. Don't know how long the neck injury had been around. Been maybe bothering him all year. I don't know. Leg injury, knee injury, whatever it was. Same deal there. Maybe it was bothering him all year. I don't know. But both of those are getting worked on and hopefully will be fixed. So maybe that was bothering him all year. And with his daughter, so he obviously wasn't living with her, but maybe that has an effect on it. He rarely saw her, except there were a couple games when she did see him play, and he went off in those few games. So first time being away from his daughter for a really long time, maybe that had an effect. Who knows?
Maybe. You're telling me that their family doesn't live in Seattle?
No.
Why?
Because they had a house in Cincinnati.
As kids, they go to school, they have friends, they're
sure. Yeah.
moving away a whole childhood.
Actual life
whatnot.
stuff. I get it. Well, that's too bad. I mean, we could go on and on about Jesse Winker, both good and bad.
I love Jesse Winker, and I want him to be good so bad. I think he will be good. I think he'll turn it around next season. I do. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm going to look like an idiot, but I think I'm getting it wrong.
I recall that he was one of the most hyped people that came over to Seattle in that trade. I mean, he and Gino were hyped to be in Seattle, and call it, I'll call it like I see it. I mean, he came here, and I guess he wasn't a direct contributor to why we made it in October, but still made it to October. So I don't know. Would you like to have him back on the squad next year?
Dude, as Scott was saying in the post game, or not the post game, in the end of the year meeting, whatever the hell it was, he was like, Jesse's been good his entire career. There's no way he just stops. He just doesn't figure out, unless it's a unicorn experience like Chris Davis back for the Orioles. You remember
him? Yeah, of course I do. And
he lost it. He got paid and he lost
Dustin
it.
Ackley. Well,
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Well,
Chris Davis was good. He was a great first baseman, powered left-handed hitter with a beautiful mustache, crushed a ball a million miles. And then he just lost it. I remember there was this video of him swinging at a pitch, and his eyes aren't even looking at the ball. They were looking up in the air, and the ball's like, like a few inches away from the barrel, but he wasn't close to it. And it's just like, I don't know where he was looking. It was the funniest thing. I was like,
about
man,
Winker?
You suck now.
Or Chris Davis?
No, this is Chris Davis.
Oh,
I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole, but
anyway,
but there's no way Winker is as bad as he was this year. Next year, he's just been so good throughout his career, at least in the batter's box. He's been so good there his entire career. He's got to get it figured out somehow next year, and hopefully he's just fully healthy. Maybe it was a health issue. Who knows?
Sure. Anyway, look. First of all, if you've been listening with us all season long, we love the hell out of you. But here's what I would take away from this season, right? I think, and I was chatting with a buddy of mine I used to go to college with, Brian Best, a big Mariners fan as well, but he and I had a conversation sometime this past weekend and couldn't agree with him more with what he said. But ultimately it's like, hey, look, what we saw this year, and especially if you think about last year too, right? Like right on the cusp of being in the postseason, that was a whole lot of fun watching. And I think this is a promising instance of what we can expect to see in the near future, right? I think the next few years of being a Mariner fan are finally going to be worth it, right? Right. We had the same record as we did last season. I'm almost entirely confident that we're going to have a few more wins under our belt next season. And, a lot of frustrations that we dealt with. But Mariners played Mariner baseball, scrappy baseball. And, we're excited about what's going to happen next year.
Yeah, we are.
I think it's going to be really great. And keep in mind, guys, like the postseason was not all for naught, right? Like we started from the very, very, very bottom, and we upset the Blue Jays in epic fashion. So, we have something to be especially proud of.
Dude, and we really did hang in there every single game with the Astros.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you can look and say we sat through 2 games of baseball in the last game, right? 18 innings. Nobody on the Mariners scored a run. I mean, we held the Astros 17 innings scoreless as well. Yeah. You can't forget that. I mean, that just goes to show, obviously, pitching is just so important in postseason baseball.
Yeah, it is.
And you look at, we're watching the Houston Astros Yankees game right now, 6-5. Astros are about to take down, maybe they're about to take down the Yankees, going to the World Series. Phillies, congratulations to Phillies. They're going to the World Series.
Yeah, go Phils.
You look at it, and the Mariners hung in there, scratched tooth and nail, whatever the hell the expression is. And with the Astros, they're about to take it to the World Series. And we beat the Yankees in the season series when we played them. You could make an argument that the Mariners were arguably the second best team in the American League. I mean, man.
I'll roll with that. Yeah, sure,
I'll roll with that all day. I'll roll with it all day. The Astros are just damn good.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens next year. But you just got to look at it from perspective. Hell of a season. It was so much fucking fun. We hung in there every single game against the Astros. Didn't get a win, which sucks. Had our opportunities. Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah.
You are
You
daddy.
mother-
I'm gonna Pedro Martinez this. When he referred to the Yankees as his daddy, well, I'm gonna refer to Yordan Alvarez as our daddy.
Yeah.
Damn, that guy's good. That guy's really good.
I
Hell of a
mean, look,
series.
man, like we were concerned having made a playoff spot that would have lined us up with the Astros. We knew that shit was coming. Game 1 of that series, we've said it multiple times now, was absolutely brutal. And in my opinion, I think that's one of the reasons why, we couldn't turn it around. The drive was still there, but that shit is just, we're talking PTSD type stuff, man.
That's if you're weak-minded, man. I think they're mentally stronger than that.
Dude, does someone as weak-minded as me, instead of screaming into a pillow and banging on floors and stuff, I did that game 2, but you did that game 1. Game 1, I saw what
I was
happened.
praying game 1
in your boxers. That's
I did
right.
I did get upset afterwards, actually.
That image is absurd. But here are the Astros on the verge of sweeping the Yankees. About to go 7-0 in the postseason.
Let's go Phillies.
It's a bitch. The Astros are an absolute bitch. I'd much rather lose to the Yankees than I would the Astros, but I think that
what? Fuck that. No.
Dude, the Yankees
aren't as good as the Astros.
It doesn't matter. Yankees are just sicker.
I disagree.
Astros
because
suck, dude.
I'd way rather beat the Astros.
I hate the Astros.
So do I. But you know that they're good, and that's like the toughest opponent. You want to play you want to beat the best. You want to beat the best to be the best. All right.
But you can't.
Yankees aren't the best. The Yankees aren't the best.
Yeah, but they're the Yankees, dude. The evil empire.
Fuck who they are.
Dude,
they're not the Yankees anymore, Max.
What are you talking about?
I mean, sure, they're still the New York Yankees. Not winning
they've got
Yankees that have been winning
boys
forever.
On that team, dude. Okay, off topic. Evan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I first want to give kudos to Chris because I don't know if we have some day one listeners from last season. Remember, Chris, you were saying that this year the Mariners would make the playoffs. You called that. So I just want to give you a shout out on that real quick.
It's true.
And then also I want to quote.
I'm the Magic 8 Ball. Thank you.
Yeah. And I also want to highlight Scott's service saying we're just getting started. And you just kind of saw that this season with a lot of young players taking that first step. Julio playing his first full season in the big leagues, and you saw him kind of struggle out of the gate early on, learning how to become a Major League Baseball player. That eventually took off, and now he's the AL Rookie of the Year. George Kirby, getting called up in the strides that he made, getting to the point where he shut out the Astros in a playoff game, first playoff game in 21 years at home. So that's a lot of pressure.
Gilbert, was phenomenal this year as well.
Yeah, and to take it to the Astros, they kind of build on that where we almost had them, and this is with our young core. For them to get a taste of the postseason, I think it's just going to fuel them to want to work harder this offseason and want to get back to that, but not only get back, but want to make a run. You can just see it in this team. I think Kelenic will Warren as well. He had some growing pains, but he took a step this season, I'd say. Maybe year 3 will work for him. Who knows? But I just want to say I think this team took a great first step towards, a World Series. I'm just going to throw that out there. So
100%. And Cal Raleigh took a massive step. And Kyle Raleigh is the only Seattle Mariner to get nominated as a finalist for a Gold Glove. Which that would be pretty great.
Weren't we talking shit on his defense last year?
No, what?
Dude,
no, that was
when we were
if anybody
when we were switching between 3 catchers, there's Terrence,
Max,
Murphy, and Cal, and we were like,
no. So last year, going around our catching, it seemed that anything thrown to the plate from the outfield, anything on a one hop, they just would never grab.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
And they just dropped that. And it was Raleigh, it was Terrence, it was Murphy, it was all of them. But no, this year, I've never talked shit about Cal Raleigh's defense.
I did.
I'm sure
I
talked shit about Cal Raleigh in general.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, you were low. You were low
Yeah.
on Cal Raleigh.
And boy,
Yeah.
was I wrong.
Yeah, but hey,
And
man,
I
if
love
he gets a
being
Gold
wrong
Glove,
in that
that'd be
so-
amazing. That'd be
Yeah.
amazing. One other thing that was going in that end of the year presser, they were talking about Santana with Scott, and Scott said that he and Santana, they had a super long conversation. And this is when the Mariners, right before, maybe in the midst of our 14-game winning streak. And he's like, it's just so hard to win in this league. Like, we need to celebrate our wins, every single win. And Scott, he goes, amen, brother, quote unquote, amen, brother. And he tells Santana, and Scott's telling this story to the media, and he tells Santana, he's like, well, yeah, the coaches, we've been celebrating our way after every win. And Scott said it with a little bit of a smirk on his face. I don't know if y'all remember when we interviewed Perry Hill last year, and it was after they had the series with the Oakland Athletics. And that's the series that the coaches started doing shots of fireball after every single win.
Yeah.
And so I think when Scott said that, I think they're still doing shots of fireball after every win. But I don't know. But that's where the the dance started as well. Santana, Scott told that story, and then it all came to what it was.
Speaking of Santana, I mean, and well, one of the questions that I had, and
There's no way Santana's going to be with us next year.
yeah.
There's just no way.
Sure.
Love what he brought.
Santana's his contract is up with us, probably not coming back. And that's
don't
all
have any
right.
room for him.
Yeah.
If we had one solid DH.
Yeah, sure. But the question is,
But he's not.
Who else are we getting rid of? Number one, and number two, what would we need instead, right? And it's funny because like I was scrolling through Instagram and I came across like this MLB post, and like you look at the Dodgers and they're losing like Clayton Kershaw, Justin Turner, Joey Gallo, I think Trevor Bauer, some big freaking names for the Dodgers.
Hold on, who the fuck did you just say? You said Trevor Bauer.
Yes.
Nobody in the league wants Trevor Bauer, Max.
Why is
Trevor
that?
Bauer's got some allegations against him that we don't need to
Oh,
dive into.
right.
We
right.
don't want Trevor
That was-
Bauer.
Okay, that's right. I totally forgot about that. You're absolutely right. Yeah, but
I'm sitting here reading over some notes kind of while you're just talking. I
Yeah.
just hear Trevor Bauer out of like left field. I'm like, what
so
the
you're
fuck?
saying that you weren't even listening to me?
Not really. I'm reading my
Okay.
notes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are listening to me, this is the shit I have to deal with.
At least
Yeah,
I was
sure,
listening
like,
somewhat,
let's have
so
a
you just didn't
podcast
get to
and
slide Trevor
whenever
Bauer's name in here nonchalantly.
Yeah, well, Max, let's start a podcast, and whenever you talk, I won't listen to you. But anyway, like David Price, right? Like these are folks that
I don't want David Price either. Not that he has allegations. He just isn't that good anymore.
okay,
No
fine.
allegations.
I'm just saying
against David
there are
Price, let me be
I
clear
mean,
on
like
that.
imagine what the off season is going to be like as far as trading goes. And then it's Mitch Haniger's contract with us is up.
Mitch. Yeah.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on it? What are your predictions?
Cat got your tongue.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know about my predictions, and I can give them. Who knows how accurate they're going to be? Because me, I have all my credentials, and I am a real world reporter. What I say is backed by proof and truth, and nothing but it. I don't know what's going to happen with Mitch Haniger, though. I really don't.
And it's hard, right? Well,
It's tough.
Well,
It's tough.
Would it be nice if we kept him?
So here's
do you
Mitch
think it's
Haniger's
time we
perspective.
part ways?
We're gonna give him an offer,
Uh-huh.
but is Mitch gonna get a better offer? You as a player individually, you work so hard to get to free agency. To get through all those arbitration years, to build your status,
Yeah.
build your credit. You work so hard to get there. Sure, maybe he wants to retire a Mariner, but there may be just some other offer that he gets that's just, twice as good, 3 times as good, 4 times as good as the Mariners come.
An
to
offer
him.
you can't refuse.
It's just an offer he can't resist. I
Yeah,
don't know what kind of accent that was, but
that was really bad.
I don't know.
I mean, would you like to keep around Mitch Haniger in your
Sure.
Sure,
I'd like to keep him around. A
but
healthy
you're
Mitch
not
Haniger.
like emphatic about it.
I'm not emphatic about it. As a healthy Mitch Haniger is a really good Mitch Haniger. A healthy Mitch Haniger isn't always around
At the plate.
No,
Yeah.
fuck that, man. Even in the outfield, even in the
Really?
outfield, you and Zweifel are not high on his defense. I think he's like a.
I thought Zweifel made a good point on that.
Well, I wish he was here so I could remember this point. Do you remember his point?
His point was just in general, he's just, so maybe not subpar, but like a par outfielder, like just average, nothing special.
I don't know. I think his arm is extremely underrated. I think he has a phenomenal, accurate arm, strong arm. And I think maybe he's not the fastest guy, takes phenomenal routes to the ball. And he gets to, he locks it down, man. He locks it down in right field.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think he does
smart
great
player.
job. He's a smart player.
Does that,
Baseball
have that going
IQ through
for
the
him.
roof.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So we'll see if he comes back. I don't know. So I know we want to get a shortstop that will go to second base. It doesn't seem like we're going to be moving JP Crawford. Jerry said in that press conference that we signed JP as a shortstop. He is our shortstop moving forward, and he will be. So I don't know. Maybe I would love to get Correa. I wanted him last year. I want him again this year. Trey Turner, he's out on the market as well. That would be a hell of a sign. That guy's fast. That guy's really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
Love Trey Turner.
And he hits the damn ball consistently.
Yeah.
So,
well, I don't know, man. But Jerry did say the bulk of our team is here. Quote unquote, bulk of our team is here. We do have more coming within our system. It's Jerry DePoto's words. And there's guys that, we still got in our system that hopefully we'll see soon. Emerson Hancock, that'd be fun to see what he can bring up. But I don't know who. Obviously, Jerry's going to do some signings, some trades. He may do the trades of typical Jerry, where it's guys that we haven't all heard of, but they end up being something. Hopefully, Sam Haggerty can recover very nicely and be a nice utility guy off the bench as well.
Again?
What?
What was his injury exactly again?
Sam's?
Yes.
That was a groin injury when he was sliding into second base.
Yeah, right. Okay.
That sucked.
Yeah, it did suck. I really would have liked to have him.
Yeah.
For the playoffs, that is. But yeah,
I understand.
I'm thinking Haggerty becomes our go-to utility player next year over Dylan Moore whenever possible. But
Dylan just fits on the type of roster that Jerry's built and the type of way Scott manages.
What's the difference between Sam Haggerty and Dylan Moore other than what is the difference between them?
I think Dylan's a bit better
really
on the infield defense.
Oh, well, that's I don't disagree with that.
But Haggerty's strong side is the right side of the box. Dylan Moore's right-handed batter, so
yeah.
But Haggerty's a switch hitter. Baseball, it's so much fun. So many things you can do, man.
You're not wrong there, buddy. Let's make a quick transition into what T-Mobile Park was like game 3. Loudest I've ever seen that stadium. The most packed. I mean, you've seen a sellout crowd on a regular season game on TV. You've been there, but this shit was packed to the brim.
Different.
And if it wasn't so damn smoky, I could have seen what was happening. Wait, what?
He just laughed at you. He didn't say anything.
No, my connection is unstable. You'll have to edit this part out, Evan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Well, yes, I can. It's your video's frozen and my internet.
My video's frozen?
No. Okay, now it's not. Just piss off. The energy at a postseason Mariner game was amazing, and I totally foresee that happening again. And it was funny because we got a taste of it, which is what we've been wanting for over 2 decades.
Dude, that was a long day. We got there at about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
10 o'clock in the morning.
Started tailgating at 10 a.m.
Got home at
in the alleyway.
p.m.
We were hitting wiffle balls over,
over train tracks.
houseless people and
But it was just crazy. So it's like always tough, when you go to a game and it goes into extra innings. I was at the game against the Yankees this year where it went 13 innings. They stopped selling beer, man. When the seventh inning ends,
that is a felony.
Beer. It's
that
a
was
felony.
a felony.
It's criminal. They didn't stop selling food, which I was good. But I mean, you go through an 18 inning game as a fan.
You're hungover by the 13th inning, dude.
And what a shout out! What a shout out to all-star performance put on by the fans. An all-star performance by the fans who were all in attendance because nobody left the building, man. 18 innings strong. We stopped drinking at the 7th inning. Goes another game, 18 innings. And then the most beautiful thing of all is Houston, they're celebrating, sure, but then out of the first baseline, you hear a "Let's go Mariners," and it just overtakes the entire T-Mobile Park. Everybody for 60 seconds strong. Let's go Mariners, and just showing the love to the boys on the field. And yeah, it sucked. I was mad. I definitely was cursing a little bit. Had my roller coaster of emotions throughout the entire game. But it was just really, really cool to see the fans stay. It was so many of them. So many people just looking around. It's like, all right, this is what I remember watching on TV when it was the Cubs and the Indians and shit, and like their fans going crazy and all that shit. I was like, oh, we're here. We're in it. We're living it.
You know what I just remembered? Some asshole that was sitting behind us had the audacity to say, "Hey, language," to you, and that's my job. That's my job. And I swear to God, I almost turned around and told him that. I was like, "Hey, bro, piss off. That's my job." And like, I have a certain threshold that you surpassed often, but
I wasn't passing it.
No, you weren't.
No,
because like, we were in that day, and I was arguably got on your level a couple times as well.
You left.
I was in
not the stadium. You left our seating area and watched somewhere else.
Yeah, yes, I did. And then as soon as the game happened, like, I didn't even meet up with you guys because I was so frustrated. I ended up going to Cowgirls and overindulging in alcohol. But
did you ride the bull?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was frustrating. I my heart sank.
Yeah.
And I played it off as cool as I could, but I don't know. I never really apologized for this. Apologize for this.
You just left
guys.
us.
Yeah, I don't know. Just didn't feel like.
I mean, to be fair, when the game ended, it's not like I hit you up. It was
It just was like, well,
how did you leave the stadium like right after the first, right after the last pitch?
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah, and then went to Cowgirls, met up with some other people, and then, like I said, overindulged, and somehow got home and just woke up the next morning, and I was like, oh fuck, that happened. Both the Mariners and Cowgirls.
Evan was a trooper because I was in a mood.
Yeah, I know that.
And we stayed in the stadium half hour after the game ended, just looking. Like, I was just in silence. And
yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, I'll expand on this. So, Chris gets very passionate at, sporting events. I mean, Max, you obviously know that. And an 18-inning game like that, it takes a lot out of you. And the way it happened too with Pena, unfortunately hitting that home run.
And Murphy.
Yeah. And so Chris was obviously upset. He was in the stands just staring into the, field.
Motherfucker.
I want to shout out this other fan. I don't know his name or whatnot, but he had like a mustache and
he was staying with us.
He knew like the situation because he stayed with us.
Was it that red-haired dude?
Yeah.
In front of us?
He stayed with
I know
us.
Exactly where that guy was a homie.
Yeah. So he stayed with us. He was staring at the field as well. Then he was like, all right, I got to go. I sat there as well. I was upset, but I was like, I'm not going to be the one that taps Chris on the shoulder and be like, hey, let's go. Because anything could happen. Chris could be like,
Chris has got a short fuse at that
What?
point.
yeah,
What?
yeah,
What?
Mariners,
What?
man.
That's like touching
I-
that's like touching a
know, so-
landmine, dude.
Punch you in the face or something?
No, I didn't want you to just shout or take your anger out.
Yeah,
Okay,
shut up,
I'm
not-
Evan.
I'm
Yeah,
not an angry person. I don't want people thinking I'm
you're a
an angry
passionate
guy.
fan. I
Yeah,
I
I mean,
s-
I'll yell and I'll curse. I'm not gonna go punch somebody.
no, I know.
I
I
mean-
just wanted you to have your moment because
I'm
I
not gonna
knew.
punch like a Mariners fan. You know what? You know
You're
what?
not gonna punch the
I was-
editor of
yeah,
your podcast.
As I say this,
I
there
can't
was
punch the
there
producer.
was that one Houston Astros guy that was sitting right in front of us, and this motherfucker, he wasn't saying anything the entire game until Pena's home run, and he starts like just I don't know what he was saying, but he was chirping, and I did want to punch him at the moment. It's like fuck, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I guess I could have gotten. I hear where you're coming from.
But no, we stayed. We were like one of the last ones to, I think, to like leave the stadium.
Soaking it in,
yeah.
just looking at the
Yeah.
stadium and just like appreciating, what we saw for the year and getting kind of sad. And then like, all
Yeah.
right, you remember when the Seahawks lost to Atlanta, like Russell Wilson's rookie year?
Yeah,
Russell
I
Wilson's
do,
rookie
actually.
year, we
Yeah,
lost to
yeah,
Atlanta, and then
Is that the year
we did have-
before we won the Super Bowl, or
yes, the year before.
yeah,
Year
yeah,
before
I
we won,
remember
yeah.
that.
And I
Sure.
remember actually like fans in general, I think everybody collectively had a really good feeling about the next year. And lo and behold, we won the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
And I think fans collectively for the Seattle Mariners this year have a really good feeling heading into next year.
Yeah,
So maybe,
I do too, and I
World
think
Series. I
I
don't know.
think that's the thought behind, you guys said that you heard a "Let's Go Mariners" chant. Like,
Yeah.
that's absolutely the vibe. I mean, that's them saying like, hell yeah, we made it, and we're gonna go even further next year. And there's a lot of confidence around that. I, for one, share that confidence. So yeah, it was a special experience overall. And
Yeah.
before the game, when we were tailgating, quote unquote, everyone was walking down the alley past us and super nice and hyped up. And
I was giving out free beer to everybody.
yeah, sure.
Everybody that
yeah.
walked by trying to get good karma on our side.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't work
No, it didn't.
for
but
some
you-
fucking reason. I don't
Yeah.
know.
But you tried. What would have been nice to see though, Chris, is, maybe like bottom 17, you strip down to your underwear and you get on your knees and you
Start
start praying.
Yeah. It would have been cool if we all joined together and
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
in the stadium
Yeah, man.
held hands and we did an Our Father.
Dude, I would have walked out of the stadium in
Oh
that
man, you went to
very
Catholic
moment, dude.
school?
I did, but that doesn't
Did
mean
you
I'm
did you ever
Catholic.
do altar serving?
No, I didn't do altar serving.
Really?
No.
Really? For all you Christians, Catholics out there who did do altar serving, there's a candle bearer, and there were two candle bearers, and there was a cross bearer, and the cross bearer had to do the mass by themselves. The candle bearers did it together. Me, Riley Maloney, my brother Pat, we were all doing altar boys together one time, and nobody knew how to do cross bearer, and so me and Riley were like, "Yo, Pat, we know how to do cross bearer. We'll give you the signals across the altar, and we'll tell you when to go up, when not to go up. We'll give you cues." Pat's like, "Bet, all right, deal." And
Did you screw with him?
yeah,
God
in the middle
damn
of this, in the middle of the sermon, Father Johnson's standing up there, and Riley and I do our head nod, like, "Yeah, get up there." He starts walking up, and he goes and grabs a big holy Bible, big book, and stands right in front of Father Johnson. And Father's like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing?
Yeah, dude. He's like, and Pat's like the look on his face. He's like, what do you mean? And then Pat like looks at the entire crowd, everybody in church and mass, and he's like, "Fuck, I fucked up." Riley and I are sitting in our seats crying, laughing.
Dude,
Laughing
how
so
old
hard,
were you
man.
guys?
Oh, we were young, grade school. And
Damn, you
Father
had a-
Johnson, he was so
You
mad
had
at
a
us afterwards.
deviant mind at that age.
It was so fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This just in, as we're recording this, Yankees are down to their final out.
Aaron Judge is up right now.
Aaron Judge is up.
Down one
God,
run.
Wouldn't that be something?
Wouldn't this be a story if he hits a home run here?
Yeah, dude, that would be incredible. It's
Oh, he's down to his last strike. It's an 0-2 count.
0-2
All right,
count.
coming live from Monday Mojo.
Yeah,
Houston
exactly.
Astros.
Yeah, I know.
New York Yankees.
play by
As if-
play here.
Play by
Yeah,
play.
as if the listeners won't wake up or aren't watching it right now. But while we're watching the end of this
All right,
game,
Presley puts
uh,
down the catcher.
shut up, Chris.
Stretch.
I'm saying something heartfelt.
Wind
It's,
up.
it's okay, Max. He doesn't
Reaches
listen to you
back,
when
throws the
when you
pitch,
speak
ball,
anyway,
blown
so.
away to dinner judge.
What'd you say, Evan?
I was gonna say it's okay, Max, because Chris doesn't listen to you.
No, he doesn't
when you
listen
speak
to jack
anyway,
shit.
so.
But you know who does listen is our listener,
Our listeners?
our listeners listen, and it's important for you guys to know. You know what? I'm gonna come out with some drama. It's
Ball
not
game.
drama.
Houston Astros are going to the World Series.
You strike out,
Grounded out.
grounded out. Damn.
Yeah.
Well, Houston
Fuck
against
you.
Philly.
Let's go
ladies and
Philly.
gentlemen.
Let's go Philly, baby. It's always
City of
sunny in
brotherly
Philadelphia,
love.
Danny DeVito.
Come on, Philly. I
want to bring this up because in our fantasy football chat, this is an interesting stat line. How they're saying the last time the Phillies won the World Series, the whole economy
Economic
crashed.
meltdown.
It's
dude.
like the last
And-
like 3 or 4 times they've done it. It's the Great
Yeah.
Depression is involved. the
Yeah, and
recession of
we're on the
08 is
verge right now
involved.
with inflation. So
Yeah.
my question is, are you okay with the Phillies winning, or would you want to see the Astros?
Fuck. Would I rather have the Astros win
or an
deal
economic
with
collapse? Yeah.
another.
I'll
like,
say this. I'll say this. I'm pulling my money out of the stock market if the Phillies are about to, if they're like, if it goes to like game, if they're about to sweep the Astros, I'm going to pull my money out of the stock.
dude.
No, I'm
if you
fucking around.
if you haven't pulled out your money even now, and then you plan on pulling it out in the next like 2 weeks, that's got to be the dumbest investment
A Monday Mojo Sports
strategy
Desk,
I've
where
ever.
we give you financial advice.
No. Hey, but listen, as I was saying, it's been a pleasure coming at you guys, and we appreciate you being loyal and continuing to listen. We're, by all accounts, it seems like we're coming back next year. We've acquired the necessary funding from our very exclusive
Paul Allen.
investors. Yeah, well, he's dead.
He's
Yeah, sure. Why not? But we're coming at you next year. What do you think, Chris? Like now, and Evan, now that it's the off season, people that we'd like to get on the show are much more available.
free. So it's not good.
So-
We're not, like last year.
Yeah. So,
Like
well,
last
right.
year,
So
we'll
like
do
whenever,
one-off
right.
episodes. We ain't coming out every Monday.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah, me
It's been
too.
fun though.
But every time we can get a guest, we'll make sure you guys know.
Evan's got something to say.
Yeah, I just want to say real quick, thank you to all our listeners, for season 2. Hopefully we brought you some good insight and some good humor and laughs along the way. But I want to say also, like, subscribe to our YouTube page, follow us on Instagram. We're going to be active this off season still. Like I'm going to try to edit some videos. I took a lot of footage from the off season or from the season of, Max and Chris, at, games
I'm
and
waiting
stuff like
for
that. So I'm going to put out some YouTube videos. Been kind of doing that a little bit more if you guys have kind of noticed and whatnot, but there's some fun things coming. And I feel like, we made a lot of good strides. We're recording in person now. And so I think season 3 is going to be even more special, with the Mariners going to build off of this year. We're going to obviously build off. We got the All-Star game next year or next season. So there's a lot of good things to look forward to. And so I just want to say to our listeners, stick with us. We won't go away. We'll be around, and keep listening to us and all that.
Yeah. Soba, you have anything to say?
Man, I can't say it any better than both of you did. I mean, like I've already said, hell of a season by the Mariners. This has been so much fun. And I'm glad that we started this. Glad that we started this podcast, and I'm glad that we've just been being able to pay attention game in and game out through every season, the last 2 seasons, every season before, and now it's just getting that much more fun. It's getting that much more fun. We'll see what happens next year, because this off season is going to be interesting. Trader Jerry. They call it for a reason.
You don't have to go into detail, but do you see Jerry making some sneaky moves? And also, I had a question.
Every year,
Sir, when we re-signed Service and Jerry, how long was that for?
I do not know. I don't
Right?
know.
You just signed into an extension.
Well, we at the end of last season, we signed them to an extension.
We did.
Yeah.
But we don't. I can't remember for the life.
They'll
of
be
me.
around for a few more years. I
Yeah,
think.
Okay.
they'll be around.
All right.
They'll be around.
Yeah. Well, Jerry, it's time to get sneaky, man. This year was an ALDS team. Next year, we're a World Series team.
Dude. And
You
one
heard it
other
here
thing,
first.
maybe keep a lookout. Hey, Shohei Ohtani has some stuff to say to
Oh,
the
that
media
too.
back home. He wasn't having too much fun in LA this year.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
I think he'd fit right in Seattle.
I think he fit right in. He had the chance and he fucked it up once. Don't fuck it up twice, Shohei.
Yeah.
Think of where you could be right now. It's interesting to think about this actually, because we would have gotten Shohei Ohtani before 2018 when we blew everything up and we went for the rebuild. We would have probably kept the Nellies, maybe Robinson Cano. Who knows? Who knows what we would have done?
Yeah.
And maybe it'd be a late rebuild, or maybe it would be butterfly effect. I'm glad we're at where we're at. Maybe we get him this year.
Yep.
Or when they trade him. Who the fuck knows? Hell of a season. Hell of a
season, boys and girls. And from the bottom of our hearts, thanks for listening. It's time for me to go smoke some weed for the rest of winter. And listen, well, we can edit that out if we want. I don't give a
I'll be
shit.
smoking weed too. Don't you worry.
Enjoy your off seasons. And get ready to come back with a vengeance against the goddamn freaking Astros.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the assholes of Houston.
And Max, what we got to plan, Evan as well, his wife as well.
It's a road trip.
Peoria.
We're
gonna go to spring training.
Okay.
We're gonna make that happen.
Sick.
And so far, like I think I'm 0 for 2 on saying that I'm gonna go to a series and like not go to it and travel. Like the Blue Jays series. I said I was gonna go to that and I didn't go.
Mhm.
So we can't have that happen again.
Okay. I'm down to go to Peoria.
That'd be so much fucking fun.
But listen, you've listened to the season finale of Monday Mojo. I'm Max Schwabe and here with Chris Soba and Evan Barron. Chris Weifel continues to do excellent field reporting. We love you and go Mariners.